Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Stroke of Genius podcast, Executive Experience. I got a real special guest. I consider him a friend of mine. His name is Alan Brunton. He is the CEO and founder of Cymatrax Incorporated, and he uses a cutting edge technology to enhance audience retention on any podcast. So everybody should do it. We use in ours. So let me bring Alan on the line. Let's get right into it. Hold on.
The Stroke of Genius podcast, hosted by brain aneurysm and stroke survivor Aaron Avila, sharing the experiences of survivors and CEOs. This is your destination for inspiration.
Well, good morning, Alan.
Good morning, Aaron. How are you?
Really, really good. Thank you for being here, Alan. I really appreciate it.
It's my honor to be able to come and to be able to get this out to all the people, because it's just what I do.
It's pretty awesome technology. I mean, you're using a cutting edge technology. Before I met you, I actually listened to Differential on YouTube. And I know for a fact your technology works. In fact, I know for a fact because I use it to, let's just say, reduce snoring next to me at night.
Yeah.
And actually alter inner sleep. Alter the snoring pattern. So there's power in these sound frequencies, and that is what you do. That you use the sound frequencies to improve engagement and improve the productivity of a podcast or any MP3. So, Alan, I guess what is Cymatrax and why is it critical for all companies to use it?
Well, there's a lot of scientific breakthroughs and research that has just recently gone on. And one of the first things that I can talk about and to be able to bring it to made me actually pursue this was a word called epigenetics. Now, everybody knows what genetics is the study of your genetics of the DNA and how we have markers and all throughout the DNA. But epigenetics is a different way of viewing it. And we've understood then that the receptors in the cells from the study of epigenetics are influenced by 4 environmental influences. 3 we know of and we've been working on for such a long time, and that's chemical, heat, and light. But now then we have the study and documentation from clinical trials from Johns Hopkins, Mayo Clinic, Harvard, Oxford, MIT, and other organizations that sound is also one of the major influences on the cells and the receptors, so that we've then took an understanding of cymatic expressions to be able to validate and that correspond with all of the discoveries of all of these other R&D facilities we're talking about. So also huge studies have come out about white noise now. And COVID was a big example of that. I think Forbes magazine last year and in August put out an article talking about, and the name of the article was Zoom fatigue caused by poor audio. And we're understanding that, of course, that if you're spending a lot of money on playback and listening to digital audio, you're going to have this really fine playback system. But if you're spending money, let's say on dollar store earbuds, you're going to be just causing a lot of friction within what you're doing. Well, to go into the code, the ones and zeros, we've actually defined and created software that will identify where frequencies are. Actually, let's say the combination of white noise frequencies, so that that can be filtered out, or actually not completely filter out those frequencies, but just the volume of those frequencies. So all the other notes are there. So if you're listening, let's say to a podcast like yours, which you're using our technology, and I'm so happy because I know that all of your listeners now then are going to be focused more. We're taking out the stuff that puts people to sleep. And that's what people do when they're listening to white noise. I mean, yeah, there's so many people that are using white noise generators for their infants, next to the crib to put them to sleep. Well, we have trials showing that, yeah, it's long-term use of white noise is very detrimental to your cognitive function. It dampens down your decision making. And so what we have done is create software that will analyze digital audio and locate where these good frequencies are, locks onto them, and then we have a filtering process to reduce the amplitude, the volume of everything else in between those at such a small percentage that you won't be able to tell the difference, except you will be able to identify you have more energy, less stress, and you'll have better cognitive function, better decision making, more focus. So
this is why it's playing. Your
Yeah.
audience, my audience is going to, they don't even know it.
yeah,
Being
right. Which is, I mean, you see the value in this also, because everybody is usually falling asleep on podcasts, or their attention, let's say, it goes away within about 15 to 20 minutes. And they may not even finish the program. Using our technology now, then, this is going to give people more focus to say, okay, all these distractions around, that let's say even wind is white noise. So if we can take that out, we are actually optimizing the human potential to raise the cognitive ability to be able to retain all the information that any podcaster, including yourself, is producing. And we've gotten over 200 podcasts we've already run through our technology. We even have a very large continuing education university online that has uploaded over 3,000 audio files through our technology, so that when somebody needs to go renew their professional license, they go online, they pull up the video, they start watching. And because they're using our technology on the audio, they are not as distracted, but they're also going to be able to retain the information. So whenever they go to take the test, they're going to score higher, but it even carries longer than that. They'll be able to carry that trained information out into the workplace with them.
That is huge. I mean, you couldn't ask something more ideal. And you threw out Harvard and MIT, and it's a proven fact that this works.
Yeah. And what I'm saying, though, is also, I mean, take, for example, books on audio. I mean, I know so many people that have been talking or use or listen to or download books and audio from Audible. And it's just amazing that some people can't even make it halfway through a chapter without saying, oh, I got to put this away because I got too many other things I have to do. Well, they're losing their focused attention of the reason why they went there was to be able to listen to a book. And so this is actually going to facilitate more information being able to be used, more books to be listened to, more downloads. It's actually something that's going to be changing the world. And we haven't even talked about the healthcare aspects of our pursuing of working with James Madison University and their Department of Communication Science and Disease, because they are so high on what we're doing. They're doing trials for us right now because they have inside of their laboratories identified the autism gene. And so there's a connection there. A dear friend of mine here in Dallas, Texas, is the leading pediatric neurologist at Children's Hospital. And she and the head of neurobiology at University of Alabama, Birmingham, both agree that this would be a fantastic daily therapy for the autism spectrum.
Yeah, I can see when they are going through the therapy, because I've been in therapy, being a stroke survivor, you could play in the entire room and affect numerous people with it and help them with it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like so many people that I know that have been using this, and I've given this to families of autistic children, a collection of digital audio files that we have put together, so that whenever the autistic child first wakes up, first thing they do is put on a good set of headphones, listen to this, and then work in a way to be able to optimize the delivery of the signal to the brain so that there's not too much more interference. And as a daily routine, if that's the first thing that you're doing, it's called entrainment of the brain. And so you are actually rewiring the synaptic nerves in a process called neuroplasticity. And yeah, you know about that.
I know about that.
Yeah, Dr. Joe Dispenza has actually been working on that for such a long time, making documentations, bringing in EEGs into his workshops, and they're putting together thousands of documents to show that with meditation, if you slow everything down, then you can start on a subliminal process to be able to tell yourself that I am going to do this, I am going to be this way instead of being the way you used to be. So yeah, the neuroplasticity, so you can rewire your synaptic nerves to be able to have a better and healthier life through subliminal messaging, but you got to quiet everything else down first, and then you have to continue to practice this every day. We are right there on the cutting edge of taking where and what he has done to facilitate with devices, any kind of playback, but it's just using software. If you're listening to any digital audio, so whether that's music, podcast, corporate training, online education, books on audio, we can make it better and healthier for your brain to optimize your potential.
That is amazing. I want to bring to attention to the audience. You have almost a two-step process where you're minimizing the white noise, the stuff that puts people to sleep or clients to sleep.
Yeah.
And upping the neuroplasticity or the engagement and attention span of the person listening. Great.
Yeah, actually, it's a three-step process. The first thing was we go into the code, the ones and zeros, and we locate where these good frequencies are. And then they are locked on, and then the filtering process takes place. And then whenever the playback comes and people listen to it, it optimizes a better signal to the brain.
Okay, I understand that. So give me there's been a history of frequency manipulation, and I'm hearing more and more of companies using this technology. Why are they doing it? What does it do for them as a company? Say we have a person out there listening to this podcast, and they're interested. We've behind this intrigued. They want to listen more. They want to learn more. What is the benefit of it for them?
Well, let's look at a company like Google. Google employs over 5,000 computer programmers. And what do computer programmers do? They sit all day long with headphones on, listening to music and write code. Well, the CDC reports that 85% of all diseases caused by stress. White noise causes stress. Reduce the white noise, you are reducing the possibility of developing a disease, or let's just even say illness, for the employees. Now, because they have more focused attention, their productivity is going to be much higher and more focused as well. So if you're reducing the employees' sick days as well as their productivity is raised, what would that be worth to a company like Google?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so it works everywhere else. The people out at Deloitte University, which is outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, said the same thing, that they are doing anything they can for better retention on their training for all of their consultants. It's really has been a problem, but we have the answer here at Cymatrax.
Now, I'm curious, if someone wanted to try your service, how would they go about it if they wanted to just try it and give it a go? If I remember right, you offer a 7-day free trial or something.
Absolutely, yeah. If anybody goes to cymatrax.com, Cymatrax, and I see you've got our logo down there at the bottom of the screen, which is great, cymatrax.com, you can go in and create an account. And once you create, and that's what we call our retail page. And it's mainly made for people that just want to do 1 or 2 songs to be able to listen to it. Let's say you are a musician and a young musician, and you need to be able to listen to something over and over and over again. Well, this will be the easiest way to be able to put that into your memory for long-term retention. And so what we have for a first-time user is what we're calling that the retail site. So you go to the website, you open an account, you put in your information, which will also include a credit card number, and then you can start uploading files. Well, the way we charge is $1 per minute. So if you have a 4-minute MP3 that you want to run through there, we'll charge you $4. Now, here's the kicker. And we don't really advertise it that much. I think there is a line there somewhere that very softly, but it doesn't say it big as what it should. Anytime anyone creates an account with an email address, they get an entire 7 days of free processing through our system. And people can upload up to like 100 files at one time. So if you've got a few playlists, like one for the gym, one for meditation, one for when you're going out and doing yard work, you can upload those, and it only takes about 4 or 5 seconds for a regular 4-minute MP3 to be rendered and then have an output file. You can upload, let's say, 25, 30 files at a time and walk away, leave your computer on, walk away, start doing something else, or even just have it working on the side, work on something else. A couple of minutes later, you can come by and download all those files so you can be listening to it on your device, whether you're using really nice earbuds or even playing it through your home stereo system.
So this technology can be used on a personal level, and a company of both. It does both. It does a personal enhancement. It does the employee enhancement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, using this technology.
Yeah. Like I said, online education, which is where we've got one of our big clients, Elite CEU down in Austin. We've got another client in San Antonio that we just signed a contract with that is actually going to be producing 100 books on audio. So it's really a fun time. We're getting ready to partner with people over in the European Union, also over in the UK, Ireland, and London. There's a streaming media company in Switzerland that we are in contact with their executives right now so that we can use this as a plug-in. But at the meantime, we want to be able to help people use their brains to the utmost availability that science now has brought about. And that's what our company is all about the neuroacoustic science aspect of cymatic expressions.
So I'm curious, Alan, you and I've talked before. You don't do a live stream like this as a live stream, but you do an MP3 audio. But I'm curious if someone had a video podcast
Uh-huh.
like this,
Yep.
and we're able to separate the audio out, give it to you, run it through your process, lay it back over the track,
Yep.
it would work, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what Elite CEU did with all of their continuing education videos. And they have so many videos. They just went in, extracted the audio, and then uploaded that to the website. And then very quickly, boom, a new output file. They put it right back in, and they put it there so that, I mean, they have a competitive edge over any other type of continuing education university out there right now, because they're going to be the people that use their service are going to be scoring higher and retain the information better, which any employer is going to say, like, I got to have that.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, I want people to know out there, this is not audible. You cannot hear what Alan is doing. It's what do you call it, Alan? It's inaudible.
Yeah, I mean, the reduction. Okay, well, I mean, if you are a trained musician, and we have two examples that people have given us endorsements. One of them is a man named Sir Earl Toon. He's a Grammy Hall of Famer, one of the founders of Kool and the Gang back in the 70s. You remember, celebrate good times, come on. Well, he heard about what I was doing, emailed me his latest digital master. I ran it through the software, and then we met where he put on my studio headphones and he listened to both versions. It was a 4-minute MP3. So he listened for 8 minutes, first one, then the other, and he took off his headphones and he's looking and says, Alan, I got to tell you the way it is. The first one was sweet. It was pinpoint clear. I could hear each and every note exactly. I had so much energy. I felt like I could dance all night long. I know my own music. I worked on it in the studio for 4 months. The second one, brother, I'm sorry if that was your technology, but the second one was murky. It just made me want to roll up into a ball and go to sleep. I said the second one was your original.
Oh, that's too good.
He just went, man, this needs to be in every recording studio in the world. Now, the other person, the other trained musician, is a professional harpist. And she has about 7 CDs out right now. And she is a certified music therapist that actually takes her harp into, let's say, healthcare facilities, hospitals and such. And she performs there. Well, so you've got this solo instrument, and which she actually gave me one of her CDs. I uploaded that, put it back, and gave it back to her. And she identified which recording was hers within just 20 seconds, because she said, I was so tuned into hearing, and I knew my own music. I'd listened to it over and over and over, looking at the acoustics. Well, when I heard my own heart being played back using your technology, I was floored at the difference of the quality. And so I know that by using your technology, everybody is going to have this much higher emotional experience than just without using it. So, it's right there at the edge where the professionals that work with digital audio every day can tell the difference. But if you don't, you're not going to be able to say this one, until you actually apply it. And like I said, for training, you will have that in a subconscious attachment to the brain.
That is me. It's a product that really, when you have the composers noticing the difference, I can tell you, your clients, you yourself will see a difference. You hear a difference.
Right.
You feel a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alan, you use the technology. You mentioned autistic children.
Yep.
Who else can benefit from this technology? What are the
Well,
industries?
actually, most other neurological disorders, and that's what we're waiting for now. Then to finish the trial out at James Madison University, we will get the funding then from Autism Speaks by way of University of Alabama, Birmingham. But because of the way that we're talking about delivering a better signal through the axons up to the brain, it should then without any problem be logical to work for PTSD, ADHD, stroke, dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. Yeah, it's just a way of clearing out the gunk and rewiring the synaptic nerves and into a new and better connection to the brain.
Wow. I mean, it really, and it's just, this technology is just blossoming. It's just coming into the mainstream, right? You can play in elevators, you can play it in airplanes, you can play it in the office, you can play it everywhere.
Correct. Yeah. So we are still a small company, and we are looking for other type of investment opportunities, but also would love to be able to have an alliance with other companies and people to be able to work with us. Even if people would love to come and join the company, they can contact us at the website. Send informations. You can contact me directly at info@cymatrax.com. It's just a great way of treating yourself better. It's a way of, and it's like doing yoga in the morning, doing stretching. That's what you're doing to all of the nerves then going and giving your brain a better signal. You're flushing out all this stuff that's been sitting there dormant and is doing nothing but slowing down your delivery of the neurotransmitters.
Yeah, the people that think this mumbo jumbo, this is proven scientific accuracy. That's something I know. What hurts when people listen if they want to feel it, because I know I can feel it. Is there one hurts that hurts?
Oh my gosh, there's quite a few. What we have done is, like I said, whenever we looked at all of these institutions like MIT, Harvard, Oxford, and such, and their clinical trials, where they were all using different specific frequencies, but they all identified so many. Now, if you look at a cymatic expression between, let's say, 440 hertz and 432 hertz, people, and this is what the cymatic expression is. It's a still photo of petri dishes with colored water put in there. And what we're doing then, this is what most music is recorded at 440 hertz. But the 432, if you listen to it and you're an untrained musician, you probably cannot tell the difference between these two. Once we optimize and actually form the neurotransmitters into a more concise and direct centered delivery, then we can take that signal and it will then go through much easier from the ear through the auditory system and give a better signal then to the brain. And what we're doing then is applying that same understanding of the neurotransmitters that we have here and making those a little bit more concise so they'll travel through the nerve ending walls.
Yeah, I mean, there's noticeable difference. I forget you just mentioned something. My music on muddy. I can't, it's a blurry. It's terrible. But after you did, it was look at the pattern difference. You showed that one without being treated with your technology.
Yeah,
it looks all muddy. It looks all jumbled.
Somebody actually described it this way. They said that the 440 hertz is like a 12 gauge shotgun firing a lot of pellets. Well, it will blow a hole out there, but it's not going to go very far. Whereas what we have done is create a sniper rifle where that signal or that bullet is actually going to go much further than what the 12 gauge shotgun will.
I love that. Well, Alan, we're over. I really, really appreciate it. Let me end. How do people get hold of you and get hold of your service?
Well, I mean, you can actually just go to Cymatrax.com. That's spelled 8 letters, Cymatrax. And the reason why we named the company that was because CYMA, short for cymatics, and then TRAX for audio tracks. So Cymatrax.com, or you can send us an email at info@cymatrax.com. Either myself or part of the team will get back with you immediately, let's say within 24 hours, to be able to talk to you further, and we can schedule one-on-one appointments without any problem whatsoever.
I love it. So I appreciate being here. And thank you so much for sharing this cutting edge technology. I personally am very excited to be working with you, but thank you for being on the podcast today. I appreciate it.
I greatly appreciate it. And you know, I'll do whatever we can to be able to, the information you're putting out, the guests that you are interviewing are all high quality people. And so, yeah, we're here to be able to support and sponsor and work with you as much as we can.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Bye.